Let's solve three systems of nonlinear equation. Whenever I solve a system, I always number the equation. So this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2. Let's use the substitution method. So for number 1, we don't really need to rewrite that. For number 2, I will write that as y equals to 2 plus x. And then number 1 is y equals to x squared, right? So now the system is y equals and y equals. So you are going to set number 1 equals to number 2. So that is x squared equals to 2 plus x. So this is a quadratic equation. Move every term to the left side. X squared minus x minus 2 equals to 0. And then this one is factorable. So that is x minus 2 times x plus 1 equals to 0. So you have x equals to 2 and then x equals to negative 1. Okay, so when x is equals to negative 1, what do we have? We have, which one should I use? Let's use number 1. We have y equals to negative 1 squared. So y is equals to 1. And then when x is equals to 2, the first equation becomes y equals to 2 squared. That is 4. So this is an order pair negative 1 comma 1. And then the other order pair is 2 comma 4. What does that mean? That means you have a square, so you have y equals to x squared. This is a parabola, and then this is a straight line. So the straight line and a parabola, you graph both on the same xy plane. You will see that the straight line crosses the parabola 2 times. The first time is at negative 1 comma 1, and then the second time is at 2 comma 4. This is an order pair, x comma y, and then this is another order pair, x comma y. To confirm my answer, allow me to pull down to the graph to let you take a look at the graph really quick. So do you see this? You have a parabola, you have a straight line. The straight line crosses the parabola twice, one at negative 1 comma 1, and then the other one at 2 comma 4. So that is what the answers mean. There are 2 solutions. This system has 2 solutions. And then the solution is where the lines or the curve intersect. Okay, so let's put this graph back and then let's move on to the next problem. The next problem, we have 2 equations. That is number 1 and then this is number 2. So let's see. Okay, I am going to put these 2 equations as y equals and then set them equal. So number 1, you have y equals to x to the third minus 3x squared and then plus 1. And then number 2, this one I'm not going to squeeze everything on this in the same column. So number 2, this is y equals to 1 plus, right? So 1, you know what? Let's put the degree in ascending order. X squared minus 3x plus 1. So you have number 1 and number 2. And then you set number 1 equals to number 2. And then that is x to the third minus 3x squared plus 1 equals to x squared minus 3x plus 1. So now you have one equation with one variable. We will move all the terms to the left hand side. So the third power that cannot be simplified. And then the second power, you have negative 3 minus 1 that is equals to negative 4 x squared. And then the first power is minus 3x. And then the constant 1 minus 1 is equals to 0. So there is no constant term. That means I can factor 1x out. So this is x squared minus 4x minus 3 equals to 0. Factor the quadratic equation. You have what? You have x minus 3 times x minus 1 equals to 0. So we have x equals to 0, x equals to 3, and x equals to 1. So therefore, x equals to 0, x equals to 3, and x equals to 1. So when x is equals to 0, what do we have? Let's use the first equation. So the first equation, we have y equals to 0 to the third minus 3 times 0 squared plus 1. So we have a 1. When x is equals to 0, y is equals to 1. And then when x is equals to 3, we have y equals to 3 to the third power minus 3 times 3 squared. So that is equals to 0. And then you add 1 to it, that is equals to 1. When x is equals to 3, y is equals to 1. And then last but not least, you have x equals to 1, y is equals to 1 to the third power minus 3 times 1 square plus 1. So you have 3 minus 1. You have a 2 minus 3 equals to negative 1. So when x is equals to 1, y is equals to negative 1. So therefore, we have 3 solutions, 1, 2, and 3. What does that mean? When you graph number 1 and number 2, so you graph number 1 and number 2 should be a parabola, and then number 3 should be a curve. The parabola and the curve intersect at 3 points. So let's take a look. So when I look all the way down, this is the graph. So we have a third degree, which is the red curve, and then we have a parabola. Do you see that the parabola and the red curve, they intersect at 3 points, which is 0, 1, 1, negative 1, and 3, 1. So the solution you found are the intersection of these 3 curves. Okay, so that is the second system. Let's put the graph back, and then let's move on to the last system. The last system, where should I start? I have y equals to x minus 9. So what I am thinking is I am going to substitute the first equation into the second equation. So this is the first, this is the second. So what I am going to do next is I am going to substitute the x minus 9 over here. Substitute. And then number 2 becomes what? Number 2 becomes x squared minus 6x minus 27. Here comes to the substitution. I should move this down a little bit so I have enough space. 27, and then plus y squared, which is x minus 9 squared. That is equals to 0. All right, open up the square. Copy this again, 27. And then this is a x squared minus 9 is minus 18. 9 times 9 is 81, equals to 0. Simplify that. You have x squared plus x squared, negative 6 minus 18. And then negative 81 minus 27 equals to 0. All the coefficients are even. I can factor out 2. So this is a x squared minus 12. Forgot the x. And then plus 27 equals to 0. And then you factor the quadratic. So this is a x squared, not x squared, x minus 3 times x minus 9 equals to 0. Then x is equals to 3 and then 9. So one popular question I got all the time is how about the 2? So for the 2, as long as you divide both sides by 2, then the 2 is gone. So the 2 basically you can just ignore it. As long as you divide both sides by 2, the 2 is gone. So we only need the 3 and a 9. That's it. So what happened when x is equals to 3? So when x is equals to 3, what is the first equation? The first equation is y equals to x minus 9, right? So number 1 is y equals to x minus 9. That is equals to negative 6. So the order pair is 3 comma negative 6. And then when x is equals to 9, the first equation becomes y equals to x minus 9, which is equals to 0. So the second order pair is 9 comma 0. What that means is you have a line, a straight line, and a curve. They intersect at 2 points. The first point is 3 comma negative 6. The second point is 9 comma 0. So first point and a second point. To confirm that my word is right, so here is what you have. You have the second degree is a circle, and then the straight line is the green line. There are 2 intersections, one at 3 comma negative 6, and then the other one at 9 comma 0. So that is what the solution means. The solution means the 2 lines or curve, they intersect at those 2 points. Okay, so that is the last system in this video. If you like the way I explain system of nonlinear equation, give this video a thumbs up, give my channel a subscribe. I'm sure it is worthwhile coming back to with more math contents. As always, I will meet you all in the next video. Signing out.